there's club shows, there's festival shows, and then there's this, a concert, a Kaskade concert. This is me doing my thing. When I play in a club, typically the club is all set up. Maybe they have an LED screen, maybe they don't. I don't know. I go in there and I'm not in control of anything that's going on around me. There's dancers. They got a whole thing happening. They just contract me, and I go and I play my music, and that's that. And that's a lot of people are like, oh, that's the show I love, man. I love that, and I love playing those. And then I have big festivals where they have this massive production, and I walk up there, and everything's already out there. Like I just walk up there, and they have the technical aspects of what I asked for, DJs, monitors, and I just go up there and I play my festival set, 60 minutes, 70 minutes, whatever the time allotted that they give me. And typically when I go on festivals, I have either a lighting person or a guy who puts my content on the screens. They allow that at festivals. They let me, because it's such a big production. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, you can have your dude come and throw up your content during the screens. But sometimes they don't even allow that. Okay, so I'm just telling you about different kinds of shows. The reason I put so much into this kind of show is I control most of the aspects that are happening here. Obviously, I don't control the temperature of this room or the size of it and the specs of the room, but everything else that you see that has been added to this room, this is mine. We started coming up with the concept for this stage 6 months ago. I finished the Atmosphere album at the beginning of the year, and shortly after I finished it, I started meeting with John McGuire, who's the guy who did the stage and lighting design for this. And when I met with him, I was like, okay, cool, I know what Atmosphere sounds like. This is where I've spent the last 5 months of my life making this record. I know what it sounds like. This is what I think it should look like. This is how I want the night to feel. This is what I want the experience to be when they come in and listen to the music with me. So we sit down at that point, and it literally took probably from about, we started, I think we had our first initial meeting, it was either end of February or beginning of March. But it took from that time until right before the first show in Miami. We had 2 weeks of rehearsal a week before the Miami show. And all this stuff, we rented out a massive arena, or I rented out a massive arena in Las Vegas. They constructed this thing. I mean, it had gone through many, many revisions. I see it in like CAD form. You make little things and send me printouts. I'm like, okay, let's change that, let's change this. We sit in a conference room and go over different ideas. And then after we get the stage done, then I start meeting with my visual artist, the guy who does all the graphics. And I'm like, look, I think Feeling the Night should have this on the screen. I think this, when I wrote it, this is what inspired me to write these words. And this is what I think it needs to feel like. So we start going over that. So I mean, it's a humongous collaboration, from lighting to the design to what's going on the screens. And I think it's important to note that, because when I put up a bunch of stuff on Instagram, like, oh, I'm at rehearsals or whatever, people are like, rehearsing? Why are you rehearsing? You're a DJ, you've been doing this 25 years. What kind of guy needs to go and rehearse DJ? I'm like, nah, I'm not rehearsing. Listen, I can DJ sleeping on DJ. I've been doing this for most of my life. I don't need to rehearse that. What I need to rehearse is everything, all the aspects that go into the show. I mean, this is a tremendous amount of effort, time, and money that goes into conceiving and building this. And then I couldn't imagine walking up into Miami and just saying like, okay, cool, I'm just gonna go up there and play a few records, you know? So we spent a lot of time rehearsing it and getting it to this point. And actually every show, after every show, we refine the process just a little bit. So you're seeing, tonight will be the best show to date of Atmosphere. Tomorrow, hopefully, will be even another like 5% better. We always like nip and tuck and check a few things and have a meeting right after the show. Like, oh man, this worked, this didn't work. Hey, we could try and change this. Anyway, so it's a very extensive process. So when people see me on Twitter or Facebook, this is why I spend so much time talking to my fans. It's like, I think it's important for them to understand the difference between me just going to a nightclub down in like Orange County or whatever and rolling up and just like, oh, where's my music? Which is great. I'm not taking away from that. It's still a lot of fun. I love doing that. But it's a much different investment of me and myself, what goes into that compared to this. Anyway, So that's the gist of it. Why don't I just?
Woo!
Yeah! Thank you, Kaskade, for hosting.
So if you guys have any questions, I've got a little bit of time. So we got like 5 minutes. Time for a few questions.